Yo, 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 yo. What is good, my people? It is Jason Gooner, and we are back on the big show, Jason Gooner TV. We are here for the post-match reaction to Jamaica's 4-0 win over Bermuda. Happened last night, people, and we're very happy with the points. We're very happy with the goals as well. I myself predicted a 3-1, but Jamaica did better than I predicted, which we always welcome. We want to be right, but if we're going to be wrong, we want it to be better than what we thought it was going to be. And that's what Jamaica was able to do. So we're going to break it all down tonight, talk about obviously break down each player, player ratings, everything, analyze the game, what I saw in the game, what I think we can improve going into Tuesday as well, and things that I think we need to continue to do because it worked for us in on Tuesday as well against Trinidad. Of course, there were multiple games played. Everybody played their first game in this final round, and just gonna go through all the fixtures in CONCACAF, talk a little bit about the other games, and definitely talk a bit about the Trinidad Curacao game as well. But most of that breakdown in terms of really deep analysis into the Trinidad Curacao game will come in the tactical preview show when we talk about Jamaica facing Trinidad, our next game. So you know the settings, people. Match day -1. We want to do the tactical preview show, and then if we can, we'll live stream the game, and we'll also give you the post match. So that will be how we do it going forward, people. Yes, when I have the time to do the post match, that's when you'll see me. Tonight is when I have time, so that's why you see me right now. So yeah, we'll let it digest as well. Give me a chance to watch the game again today. So that was a good thing for the analysis, I think. So yeah, have a little bit better understanding of how things turned out the way they did in the game. And we're going to try to explain that to each and everyone that tunes in tonight, whether they tune in tonight, tomorrow morning, next week. You know, they might find the channel 2 months from now, but they might find it interesting. Watch it. Anybody who watches this, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. Big up yourselves because you didn't have to watch this, you didn't have to click on it, but somehow you're here and we greatly appreciate it. Also, please do on YouTube, it helps a lot if you guys smash that like button. That's why probably 95% of the shows you'll see something scrolling across the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to Jason Gooner TV. Yes. TD want to know if this is live. TD, we are live and direct. It is what 10:37 where I am. In Jamaica right now it's 9:37. In California it's 7:37. In England it's what 3:30, 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, so big up each and every one of you tuning in TD, and it is live. Confidence is building, says Dre Anyweather Sports. Big up to Dre Anyweather Sports News, I should say, because I know he has a new channel now. So people, if you haven't already, that's not the same Dre Anyweather channel. So click on it and drop a subscription. Dre a build back him thing. Just like how the confidence are built. Manners, big up Jason. Big up David J in the house. Big up yourself. Every time, my brother. Jagans, big up. Newest member to the channel. Blessings. Every time, my bro. Big up, big up, big up. I'm going to break it all down, Jagans. You know the thing set. You know the thing set. And share up the live, people. Share up the live. Big up Warren Webster over in Canada. Well, I should say up in Canada. Big up yourself, and I hope you and the family are doing well. David J said lots of Jamaicans on the team of the week and sofa score. David J, you're so right. That was actually something I was going to show on the show tonight. So, yes, respect for that, David J. That is so true. Matter of fact, big up to Marlon. We're talking about the games, and I was saying when I saw the ratings of the players, I was saying there's going to be a lot of Jamaicans on it, and we even were breaking it down to the point where we say it's probably going to be a back three based on who get the high score them and thing, and it definitely was that. So yeah, big up to Marlon and myself, because we break it down and basically pick the side. As you enter Life Up the Life, people, please and thanks. Yeah man, let them know Jagans. Big up and respect. Manners at Warren Webster. Blessings, 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 Mario. Big up yourself, each and every time, Mario Logan. Up full. Up full. Bless up, Rob. Wagwan. We're there, 4-0 wins. Jamaica can make us smile. Reggae Boyz make us smile for a change, Long may it continue. Big up to me, only man that called for Bowser. Well, big up to you for real because I didn't call for him. I'm not going to lie to you. Just because him scored a goal, I did not call for Bowser back in the team. But if he keeps on scoring a goal every time he touch that field, I have no problem. 1 down, 5 to go. That is it. 1 game at a time, exactly. Soup Tuesday night at the stadium. So, boy, we dash for the soup for a little while after Gold Cup. We win versus Bermuda and the soup I get warm again from the pot. Cheese and peas. Fans them fickle. Yes, people. So please do smash that like button as I said before. Share it as well. Want the place get nice and full up so we can, have the discussion. All right, so I watched the Curacao versus Trinidad game. We can handle both. Tickets them. Remember that the reason why Brown was recalled is because of goals. Well, Warner Brown goals them from before were on the bench. They did not come on in this game. But yeah, first and foremost, people, before the game, obviously we did the tactical preview, and I said I wanted to try to predict what the starting 11 would be based on what I think the coach would do. Now, this was not what I would have done if I was the coach, right? And I will show you guys what my 11 was gonna be if I was the coach of the team. But first, I'm gonna show you what I had predicted the 11 to be. So let me show you guys what we came up with as the predicted 11s. All right, so I predicted Wade to start in goal, Damian Lowe and Holgate, Greg Lee, Lemby Kisa, Hayden, Palmer, Russell, Warner Brown, Cephas, and Dixon. Now, of course, that is not what ended up happening, right? So let me show you now. So that's what I predicted, right? But let me show you what I wanted to do if I was the coach. So a lot of it is the same, but the one change if I was the coach would have been to take Dixon out and start Tyrese Campbell instead. And this is pretty much what the coach did, except for one change. No, I wasn't gonna start Warner Brown either. No, if I was the coach, I was gonna start Kadamateri. Yeah, so that's how I was gonna start. If them say, yo, Jason Gooner, you are coaching the team today. This was my plan, right? Now the coach and the coaching staff, they had a similar plan, it seems. The only difference being Mason Holgate dropped to the bench and Richard King played on the right-hand side with Damian Lowe on the left-hand side. So that's how the game was to start out. Now, for Bermuda, this is the 11 I predicted. Hill, who actually, I'm a detail person. So Hill actually was wearing the number 14. Yeah, Hill was wearing 14. I think Donald was wearing the 20. Yeah, 14. So I had Leverack Rang. Actually played Carpenter. Harry was there. Carpenter was here. Hill. It was Jones on the right. So there was no Zico Lewis. That's what the big. That was huge. I didn't know that Zico Lewis wasn't around. He's injured, I guess. So what happened was Critchlow was the 10. Zico not in the squad. And then Lambie. Where's Lambie? Yeah. Lambie. Alright, so for Bermuda, Clemens, Tucker played. And beside Clemens, Martin, all kind of thing. Perfect. And it was not Lewis. Get him out of here. Zico was missed. Critchlow. Okay, so they were basically something like this. And these guys were tucked narrow. Yep, so that is how they started out. Lambe was starting though. And Naki Wells started. I think it was Martin off and Naki Wells started up front. Okay, so this is kind of more like what it was right here. So see him so Naki. Yep, so that is how it was. Let's make sure I have these people right. People smash that like button. About to get into the breakdown. Just showing you guys how the game started, where the players were. And then we'll start to break down what actually happened in the game. Remember, please like, share, and subscribe to Jason Gooner TV if you're new. The home for football. Reggae Boyz made me happy yesterday, people. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, it was my big daughter Gabby's birthday. Happy birthday again, forever. My big daughter Gabby. Yeah, I won't tell you how old she is, because I didn't even know I am old. But no, she had a great time with her friends and everything. So Daddy did a good job yesterday. Alright, so yeah, I had it right. Martin came on at halftime. Alright, so Clemens. It's more like this. Yeah. 4-1, 4-1, 4-5-1, whatever you want to call it. Jamaica. It was Russell was a little deeper. It was kind of like that. Yeah, so that's how the both teams started out. I guess when you looked at the starting 11, if I was just analyzing it and looking at it, I was a little bit surprised with some of the choices. Um, Pleasantly surprised, I would say. I did not think the coach would start Kadamartiri in the first game, or period, really. But when I was analyzing it from the perspective of scouting and watching all the players and the form they have been in for their clubs and how sharp they would have looked, I was really of the impression that Bailey Cadamarteri was the sharpest. So it's understandable that after a few days of training and seeing them go through their paces, he would be the one to lead the line from the start. So wasn't totally shocked, but a little bit surprised by that. That's a part of the reason why I didn't predict him to start. I thought he might have gone for players that he would have been familiar with from the Unity Cup, for example. So I would think that he would have that midfield um, that he had at the Unity Cup ready to go, and the forward line from the Unity Cup minus Borrell ready to go, and I just plugged in Warner Brown in there. So um, yeah, so I just feel like when I saw the squad, I was okay with it. The only thing that was, I wouldn't say concerning, but surprising, I thought that Holgate would get the start. Um, and I thought that the choice would have been between Low and King, and I gave Low the nod because of the seniority. He's the captain. I just figured he would, the coach would want him out there for the first game of the campaign, especially with some of the injured defensive players. He's kind of that senior guy in that centre back pairing, regardless of who he chose to partner him. So Low and King. Um, the thing with Loan King, though, that if you're looking at it from a balanced perspective, you know that Damian Lowe is not shy when it comes on to seeking to make an interception or a tackle, which lends itself to him, maybe going out of his position a little bit more frequently than some people would like, right? So with Richard King, I think it's kind of the opposite. So it's like balls that he should be going to win, he might be a little more reserved, stay, wanting to be more reactionary defensively. And sometimes it works out. And there's some plays in the game that I think because of his style, it actually worked in his favor. Um, I will talk about those as well. The fullbacks I thought picked themselves when you looked at the squad. The players who would be selected over the players who started the game, they would be making their first caps. I guess he's probably looked at it and said, well, I'm going to give Karamarteri his first cap, but you really don't want to, fill the team of players that this is their first cap in the first game of the World Cup cycle. So I thought that the fullbacks were one of the easier positions to pick, as well as, honestly, the three in midfield, just based on the fact that these three would have had, a couple of 90 minutes under their belt together. And they should be able to understand each other and the roles that they need to play for the team to function. So yeah, I thought that the left and right back and the midfield three was probably the easiest part of the team to pick, and probably the goalkeeper as well, because Jamal Wade, the most senior keeper in the ranks currently, he was pretty much a nailed down starter. Good experience playing in the Copa America. Now when you look back at those times, how important would that have been for somebody like Jamali Waite? Typically when you're Andre Blake's backup for the Reggae Boyz, over the course of his career, there's not really much time for you to show your talents. But Andre has had his issues with injuries over the past, year and or two, I would say. And because of that, Jamali Waite, I think, has garnered some great experience. And I always, look back at that Copa America as probably, I don't know, I've never heard him say it, but I'm sure he would look at that as a period that definitely would have helped him going into some games like this that are so important, for him to have led the team from goal in those Copa America matches, I think is gonna hold him in good stead if he does have to keep on being the man in between the sticks moving forward in the group. So yeah, the midfield three I thought picked itself. The wing was a point of contention when we were doing the lineups, asking everybody their teams. A lot of different front threes. Some had Boza starting, some had Warner Brown starting, some had Karamartiri starting. So it was all over the place in terms of who would start. I don't remember many saying Antonio would start. But I remember those three names in particular being kind of the ones that you would see. And then for the wings, it was between mainly three players: Cephas, Campbell, and Dixon. And some people had Campbell benched, some people had Dixon on the bench. I think most people had Cephas starting for the most part. I saw some Campbell and Dixon on the wing as well, though. So it was harder to pick the centre backs and the front three, and this is what McLaren went with. And I thought that early on in the game, the front three kind of did repay him, because I think at different moments in the first, I would say, 10 minutes or so, all three of them showed signs and glimpses of what they could do. The first real attack came down the left. Lee played a good ball in behind to Cephas, and it was actually a good run by Cephas because he checked to the ball first, and then burst behind, which kind of gave him the time to build up some speed. Once he has a head of steam, you're not going to catch him. So he got around the corner, and if you remember the play I'm talking about, people, he pretty much could have just picked his head up and played it across the 18-yard box. There was Karamartiri and Campbell coming in on the far post, and he decided to put his head down and try to beat the man towards the byline some more, and then eventually it went out for a goal kick. But the signs were on the wall, and I want to show you guys on the tactical board something that really did surprise me early on. Remember, this is like the first minute or so, early part of the game. Centre backs are split a little wide. He's showing centrally. Russell and Palmer finding a pocket. Karamartiri, Cephas, and surprisingly, they were, pretty high up, almost trying to go man for man. Tucker pushed up, Clemens, Lambe. Right, so they're all closing on us. The ball resets to Low, gets over to Lee. Now, actually, what happened was Low was wider. Lee was pushed a little higher. He had not dropped. Yeah, so Wade gets it out to Low. Low finds Lee. Now, these players are here. Karamartiri being watched. Dwight is a little more this way. Everybody's kind of tucked a little bit to the side. Now, what Cephas did brilliantly here, and something that was very surprising, this was how high Bermuda is engaging with Jamaica, and this is like the second minute of the game, right? And I remember in a tactical preview saying that Jamaica would have to exhibit some patience because we had everybody lined off in this side of the field. But if it's one thing that this guy Cephas likes, I'm gonna show you what he likes, people. Wolande. So we thought, right? Can I change this? Yeah. So we thought that Bermuda would probably set their defense somewhere around here. Maybe the start of the attack in third. So look at all of this. So you see this area from the half line to there? We're going to call that Cephas land. Because all Cephas was able to do, people, and this was actually telling me that somebody had spoken to him about how he makes his run. Because I don't remember Cephas making a run like this before. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I did. When I watched it back today, I was like, I didn't even realize how he set them up. So Cephas was kind of, for whatever reason, he started out this particular play a little bit more central, right? And as Greg Lee progressed the ball here in a little bit of space, he can't really go towards him. But what Greg Lee does really well is he kind of acts like he doesn't really care that he has all this space. He's not even looking like he's that worried about the space he has. And what Cephas does, he comes here like he's gonna get played the ball short, and Lee kind of looks that way as well. And as soon as he influences this guy a little bit, he darts in this way, and then Lee sends the ball in. Right? So Cephas gets around here. He goes down with the ball, getting chased, definitely winning the race, and he gets to about, I think about here is the first time I'm kind of look up. And I'm not exaggerating, people. When the play is developing, this, when he looks up, this is what he sees, As a matter of fact, they were like a little behind him. Right? And there are two Jamaican players that are literally ahead of everybody behind the football. And Cephas looks up and sees this and ends up dribbling all the way down, never crossing the ball. But this is not to show you that Cephas not passing the ball. This is just to show you that I think Bermuda was a little bit excited when the game started. To be understood, because obviously it's a huge game, World Cup qualifying. I think this is the furthest they've ever reached in World Cup qualifying. So I just feel like I would be surprised if that was the coach's idea to start out the game. I think it just kind of happened that way in the excitement at the moment. Yeah, so when I saw that they were willing to try to pressure us and really have their backline so high, that's when I immediately said Cephas going to have a field day down this wing. And it was actually true, because, he did get a goal based on all the space that they were afforded to run in behind into. And then the writing was on the wall from this first run by Cephas. Shortly thereafter, I think Richard King, sent a long ball over the top to Kadamarteri, who latched onto it, showing good speed, shot near post save, and then from that play, Jamaica score a goal. So that's one thing that surprised me big time, that Bermuda just wasn't willing to just kind of come into the game calm, drop back into their low block, and just absorb some pressure and really try to hit us on the counter attack. But they weren't willing to do that to start the game out. It's like they wanted to go toe to toe, and I thought that was kind of suicidal. And I think that led to so many chances for Jamaica throughout the game. Actually, I don't think at any point they really I wouldn't say like they disrespected us, but I just don't think that the coach. I guess the coach thought he could win some type of shootout type game. But I think Jamaica did a decent job for the most part. I'd say barring like a couple of 10-minute spells in either half of really letting anything big happen against them. And if something did present itself that was dangerous, for the most part, the defenders or the goalkeeper, handle themselves well. So It was a calm victory for the most part, and I think a lot of it had to do with execution from a lot of the players. I think a lot of the players had good games. When you look at the statistics, when you look at the eye tests, a lot of the players on the field had good games. Some players I thought did better than others, and we're going to discuss that because we're going to go through the player ratings tonight for sure. But yeah, I think the first thing that I have to point out, that led to us winning this game by the score we won. Of course, execution by the players, but I think also, surprisingly, toe-to-toe type of tactics by Finlay and his coaching staff. Again, I wasn't in the room with them when they set up the game plan, but based on how they were playing, it was not like they were just trying to sit and play any type of low block stuff. So kudos to them for thinking they could come and play us, straight up. But yeah, I think they might have reevaluated that decision after the game. Big up to Bowser for passing Walter Boyd for 6 all-time on the Jamaica list. Wow. 20 goals. Rest Brown for Tuesday night. Okay, so Mario said it's a plan thing. Jason, do you think we can see Jamaica possession-based, or is long passes and wing attack our strength? Yeah, Warren Webster, I think it's always going to be a dose of both of that. I do think that it's funny you mentioned this, because one of my takeaways from the game, like overall, is the fact that I did see a difference when we got the 3-0 lead in terms of just willing to just play some passes just for playing passes sake, and I know that's not really what we love to see sometimes, but sometimes that just takes the sting out of everything. And also, I think when you do that, Warren, that threat that you have, that direct threat, it becomes even more of a threat because it's unpredictable now. It's not like every time the ball goes to this side, it just pumps down this wing. No, the last 2 times he went inside to the midfielder who knocked it back to the keeper who switched the play. So if you can continue to vary those things, now when you decide to do it, it becomes even more effective. I'm telling you that Boza came to take up the space that Brown imagined. With Russell and Palmer in the middle, that was the best route. So Rob say, yo, go over the top because the man in the midfield now good. Tyrese Campbell is a monster on the left because Cephas can't play on the right. Yo, Wagwan Duke in the building. Yeah, I'm sure you have some takes about the game as well. Bless up, Hot Chili. Hope everything is good with you, bro. I love how Campbell played and he also defended. Always a run back. Good crosses and him have good ball possession. Yeah, he was decent. Final third, I wish him was a little better. As with Bailey Karamarteri. And when I say final third, that's a bit too broad. I really just mean like the finishing. Definitely finishing for Bailey. And even some of the final decision by Tyrese as well. A couple of them was like, could have took another option, Yo. Big up to BM. Oh, go on. Rob Smith said, I'm confused by all the Tyrese Campbell love. Thought he was okay. Made the simple pass when it's available, but lost for ideas when there wasn't an obvious pass. Okay. Our defense need adjustments. I saw Bermuda split the defense and run through the middle. Yeah, David J. It was 2 10-minute. I think the one in the first half might have even been about 12-15 minutes. Second half was about a solid 10 minutes where I was like, yo, we need to get it together. Not a bad performance yesterday, and with both Curacao and Trinidad dropping points, great game week. Yeah, I think the result in the other match was probably the best, to be honest. Some would say, no, you don't want one to get the 3 points, but no, you want to have an advantage over all the teams after the first game. And the only way that was going to happen is if we won and the other game draw, which is what happened. Mario said the most important thing, we got the 3 points. Facts. Big up the keeper and keep a clean sheet. Yep. Had a couple of things to do, did them. Didn't do them like super clean, but he did them. Duncan wasn't even on the bench. No, he wasn't on the bench, but he was there because I did see him on the JFF live, and And I could be speculating, but and actually I won't even say it. If you guys want to do some investigation, there's a like a behind the scenes of when they arrived at the stadium for the game, and just look at when Duncan gets to Steve McLaren and tell me if something don't look away. Not look away, but tell me what you see. You can put it in the comment section when the show done. Jason, find out what really happened to Kyle Duncan for us. Yeah, I have an idea, but I don't know for sure. And I think I got confirmation today, but I'm waiting on a response to like clarify something. He makes 24, you can only have 23. Okay, so Rob said never dressed because of the numbers. Antonio take up the man space. Yeah, I don't even think Antonio was planning to dress out, because yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm waiting on some info. Yep, we didn't need 3 strikers on the bench. No, we didn't. Antonio forgot to relax himself. Yeah, I think Antonio really was probably gonna come just for the to be around the camp and be around the group, and you know, I don't think the coach ever intended to probably even pick him in the 23, but I think some things went on that kind of forced him to, because Duncan was there but never suit up for play. And my boy named from Inter Miami, I haven't seen Ian Frey, so that cut down the numbers to, I believe, 24. And yeah, one couldn't dress out. Antonio is coaching the striker, says David J. My opinion. Could be. Jamaica needed to capture the new players them. That's why Mario Logan, them had to capture them. That's just start. England captured so much players and done. Yeah, man, them should have put the cross in. Yeah, they didn't play scared at all. They were like playing like, yo, we are just gonna go at you guys. And we don't care about no low block, mid block, nothing like that. That was a brain freeze moment. Yeah. Man should have crossed the start. A lot of Jamaican don't like CFAS. I went on the FIFA side and saw the following headline. Jamaica roars and signals their intention to everyone in their group with CFA's picture at the top. All right, mission. They say you don't understand why we're not celebrating CFAS more, right? Well, for me, I kind of know why. Because I'm way too analytical about the game to see the CFAS goal and the good stuff CFAS does and just eliminate from my brain the bad stuff he does. So, I have a little thought on CFAS in terms of how we as fans should look at it, and how I think the coaching staff looks at it too. When Anderson came on, we did that more. Yes, Trinidad is gonna be a problem come Tuesday. Yeah, I think they'll be really up for it, and I think they kind of know that with dropping points at home, they kind of have to find points away from home somewhere. And maybe going into this, they wouldn't have wanted Jamaica to be the place, but I think they look at it as if we need to go into that window, with a win under our belt. I don't think I don't think they'll be as let's say suicidal as Bermuda was at times, but I don't think they'll sit back either. I think they'll go for it. It's not about them not being good; they're just not active and don't show for the ball. Hayden kind of gets stuck with ball because they're both running away. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, one of them has to kind of get closer to Hayden for sure. Because you're right, they both do kind of, but it's almost as if they're like, they know that the direct ball is coming and they're trying to be there for the second ball. So like they need to make up their mind. But variation is good. That's why I said one of them need to keep that relationship with Hayden in terms of, I should be what do you call it now? I should be a resource for Hayden. Every time I get the ball, I should know say, yo, Hayden can get the ball to me. Because I am that next link. Bless up Father Bling. Hope all is good. Bless up Issa Allen. God said Trinidad for the win. Well, God, Tuesday we're going to see. I'm trying not to get carried away with the result against Bermuda. What's your prediction for Tuesday? BM, slow down, my brother. We're not even talk good about this game. I ask me about prediction for the tactical preview show BM Monday night. I know you'll forward. Webster look wild, but good delivery on that corner though. Yeah. One time when Webster get a ball over the left, I don't know what kind of dancing the man are doing, brother. But you can tell the man just excited for them on the field. So can't really I just say the man just excited, but you're damn right. That corner was brilliant. Good trajectory, good pace, good whip. And the header was brilliant too. Watching last night, Antonio is a coach for this camp. Yeah, man. Every time I drink water, I talk to players and I tell them things he must say, and it's a good look, man. I wonder if him doing badges. I don't think he want to be a coach though. I don't think so. I think he would want to work with the youths. Mario said 2-0 Tuesday night. Man, ready to drop it. Antonio shouldn't be in that squad. We have so much young, vibrant players doing well. Stuart, Burrell, Campbell, etc. Come, Jason, waste of space bringing him. All due respect to the baller. Yeah, look, I don't think that he was ever here to really play. I think if the coach should have everybody when called, Antonio would have been one of the ones in the t-shirt and the pants and he was left on the sideline, a coach and everything there. Yeah. But I still see what I said, oh Father Blink, because I was saying I predicted what was gonna be picked or what I would pick, and Antonio wasn't in my last selection. So I understand still, because I was kind of saying I wouldn't want him in there either. TNT should be disappointed with the result on Friday. They were the better team. Well, BM, I think they were the better team in the second half for sure. I think in the first half, Curacao was the better team. But I will say that Trinidad had the clearer chances. Yeah, I think Trinidad had the clearer chances in the game. That is for sure. Bermuda will get a point either from Trinidad or Curacao. You truly hope. I think that is. But I don't know. We'll see though. Must win game for Trinidad because if they lose, we already have 5 points ahead of them. Yeah, that is true. I'm thinking must win too, but they might look at it and say we take a draw. 2 points. We don't lose in the window. We have 2 games coming up next. One very winnable one against Bermuda, and then them get to have them get to make the trip to what name there? Curacao. No. Who Trinidad just play? Curacao at home. So I think the next time Trinidad play, it will be Curacao and Bermuda. Because we don't play Trinidad again until the final window. Yeah. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Must win for Jamaica, 2-0. Like, you mean we must win the game, or like it's a must win game? I think I know what you mean, Mario Logan. We can't lose. Bless up Stefan Wright. Oh, go on. Long time we don't see you over here, bro. Big up yourself, Every time. Be fair, they brought the man as a left wing. Yeah, they did bring him on as a left wing. And a left wing him play when him left Jamaica, A right wing, I don't like it. It's foreign to him to play further up the park. Watching Japan versus Mexico. Mexico, a surprisingly scrappy game. Well, if you haven't noticed, Mexico has become that type of team. Man, they ever foul people now. But Japan typically not that way, so don't know. Maximum 6 points. What are your thoughts on the USA losing to Korea? Well, look, I don't think I think the result is a good one for Korea. I think also Korea definitely was the better team by far in the first half, especially. when you look at the second half, USA pretty much dominated and just couldn't really find a goal. But I can't say the result is a shocking result because they're not so far off in FIFA World Ranking. I think right now the US team, just based on the narrative around the coach and everything going on, I really and truly feel like the USA is under pressure right now. And definitely, I don't know if the coach feels under pressure, but he should, because not many people are believing in the things he's saying when he speaks. A lot of backlash he's receiving when he does any kind of interviews or anything like that. So, at the end of the day, USA lost. But if I'm sure their scouts and their analysts will look at the play and say, we lost the game 2-0, guys, and it's never a good thing to lose. But they were in the game. They were in the game for the most part. Second half, especially, they really, were getting decent enough looks pretty frequently. So, not totally surprised by the result. And when you look at the run of play as well, it was closer than a 2-0 sounds, I think, just based on how USA played. So I know that don't really mean anything, they lost, but yeah, that's my honest opinion. Not totally surprised, and on another day, USA draw the game or they even win. The amount of big chances and half chances they were able to create over the course of the game. I want the 6 points, but we tend not to play well at home. It would be a good start. It would be good to start with the 6 for sure. Ian Frey and Kyle Duncan should be in the squad. Yeah, I know Duncan traveled. I haven't seen Frey at all. Big up Stets. Hope all is well, G. If Jamaica start low and king in the back game, over for Jamaica. Jano God. So God said Trinidad go win because they're going to start low and king again. USA and Mexico already at World Cup. I don't know. I will think about Jamaica making it to the World Cup. TNT will be much more organized than Bermuda. Facts. And that space we gave up in the middle, we can't afford to give Trinidad that. Yeah, Stefan right. And what was kind of all right, that's a nice segue because the next thing I wanted to point out on the tactical pod, because for the life of me, when they had that spell where they were getting to a little more frequently, I was just trying to figure out, like, why is this happening? So Hill was a little more adventurous down this left. And one thing that they did a pretty decent job, they being Bermuda, of they really made us pay in these type of areas right here. So wherever Isaac Hayden kind of was, oh wait, I might have to yeah, so wherever Isaac Hayden was, right? What they did a good job of doing, and this was typically our defensive shape out of possession. So let's say this guy has the ball. So Casey would be here, Bailey would be here, Cephas somewhere there, Greg Lee not so wide, and Clemens and Tucker typically were the two that would be trying to, make the extra man somewhere along the line. Lambe and Crislow had a lot of freedom, so they could interchange, but this is typically kind of how it would have been. Campbell would be pushed up. Palmer's there. Russell. Yeah, so let's say we're in like this type of defensive posture when they're in possession, right? And the ball ends up going into here. Now, Cephas would probably tuck this man come here, so this man get wide. So if you reach here now, Isaac Hayden is here. He's kind of focusing on him for a second. Everybody kind of move up the pitch a little bit now. When Bermuda had any joy, typically the area of the pitch, and this is where I have to agree with Stefan in terms of if we don't shape up with certain things, it's not going to be as, it's not going to be as simple of a task. So the area is pretty much in here, so. And what they were able to do a good job of is kind of locating any area that Isaac Hayden was basically in front of, right? So in this instance here, Isaac Hayden is pushed up the field, in the press. And this guy, Naki Wells, was intelligent enough to find the half space. Even some of the midfielders as well. Wherever Hayden got attracted to, it seemed like Wells always found that pocket that Hayden would vacate. Now, the thing that I think makes this midfield three a bit of a problem when we face other opposition is I don't think either one of these two players, Palmer and Russell, they don't quite have the defensive instinct to kind of see things before they happen. Case in point, there was a play in the second half. Right? Where, hold on, let me make myself a little bigger. Oh, not so big. Yeah, there was a play in the second half where, for some reason, Dexter Lembikisa made like a underlapping run kind of in the central inside right channel. And the ball was played long over the top. It was cut out, and they won the ball and started to attack down Dexter's wing, or try to advance the ball down Dexter's wing. And I remember the ball ends up going out to the left wing. Campbell and another guy are kind of coming towards the ball. Campbell can't get to it before the guy. He flips it over Campbell. And I'm thinking, oh, there's space there. But what ended up happening was the guy could only shield the ball and pass it back and reset. And it was because Isaac Hayden had slid from his number 6 role all the way over to the right to basically cover for Lembikisa. Now, that's obviously elementary. That's something that every footballer that ever played the game know. You have to fill in for your teammate if they make a run out of position or whatever the case is. But it's not something that's always done, right? And it's just one of those things that I see Isaac Hayden doing a game that probably goes like unnoticed and people don't really care so much about it. But for someone like me that is like watching the game from like an analytic perspective, those are the little things I think help the team to win and help the team to, limit the other team's chances. Now, the problem, right, that ended up happening, as Stefan said, the middle too open for certain teams, and when we play better teams, it to me is, Isaac Hayden, right? Isaac Hayden has to be able to kind of operate at least from the width of the 18 to the width of the 18. So based on where the ball is, yes, he's going to be more shaded to one side. And I think what ends up happening is whenever like I said, most intelligent frontmen like him, they're going to base their starting position off the 6 because wherever they want to make sure that they're not hiding behind the 6. So when Hayden would be shaded to the left, he would drop. He would basically try to go exactly where Hayden left, right? And if you look right here, obviously, if he's here, this pass is basically impossible. But if he's here, right, in that little space in between Hayden and Low and King, right, and typically, you know, Low is a little higher because he's going to try to win some kind of ball, right, and King is a little deeper. That's pretty much how it always is. But I thought that that was really the main thing. And when I saw that happening with Naki Wells, I'm saying to myself, damn, you know, when you put Trinidad's players into the system or into this setup, Naki Wells is now Levi Garcia. And no disrespect to Naki Wells, but I think Naki Wells or Levi Garcia right now is what Naki Wells was, you know, some years back, right? As I said, no disrespect to Naki Wells. He'll probably tell himself, you know, I'm not the same Naki from 10 years ago. It is what it is. Time always wins. But I thought his little movements were intelligent, and if he could have got the ball more, maybe Bermuda could have done something in the game. Not that I wanted them to, but the point I'm making is we have to figure out a way to get Russell and Palmer to be a little bit more aware of Hayden's positioning, because the reason why I point out what Hayden did for Lembikisa is what I don't see Russell doing enough, who is the closest person to him, is when he's out of this middle central area and he's pushed over to this side because the ball is over here, right, with Jones. I want Russell to say, okay, I will come and sit where you vacated. So that lane or channel that was open when it got back to Clemens and he can look through here. Guess what? There's a 6'5", 6'6" guy in the way now. And the same goes for Palmer as well. Obviously, Russell typically is going to be closer to where Hayden would be. But if Hayden is over here, because this man has moved smartly a little to the side and he wants to stay with him, then Casey Palmer be a little more aware. Instead of worrying about being here and just taking your time, this is the danger man Wells right here. So just jockey and at least make the pass difficult. But I don't think that they kind of see those type of things quickly enough to act on them. And I think that's why they get into trouble. Even one of the chances that happened in the second half, it's just Casey Palmer for a split second, just fall asleep. And by the time he look over his shoulder and turn back around, the ball was being played to the guy he just saw over his shoulder. And that was actually the play when, you know, King made a big stop. So let me check in with the comment section real quick. Yeah, USA got 2-0. Yeah, I've been meaning to turn on this Mexico game, you know, but sometimes when you start talking, you know, you're on a roll. When you talk about the ball game. All right, where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? Univision. Univision. Game probably soon done now. Watch a move like McLaren for real. 20-minute leave. Well, South Korea play Mexico. So Japan play USA next. I saw it go. And the Asian Americas matchup. Doubles boys come dead come Tuesday. Jaja. Mexico struggling with Japan right now. The CONCACAF region is overrated. Boy, Garth, I don't know who rated highly, you know. I don't think CONCACAF is rated much. Or do you mean the top teams in CONCACAF are overrated? And if you mean that, I understand. But I don't know who rates CONCACAF high. I don't think nobody rates CONCACAF high. Yeah, I saw that. Man them say it's a genius coaching move because the sub come score the equalizer. I said the man them a beat him to for playing players out of position, but we don't really think him play. Him play the Wolves guy on the left back, but we see him play left back before. Yeah, it was a crisis at Wolves why him do it, but still. I'm not sure who got it, you know. But got there. Got there are all him vibes. Well, I think he's going to start King and Low, LOL. Well, I think he's going to start them too. It's because Russell and Palmer are lazy. Yeah, man, them no, but I don't even think it's laziness because when them see a man, them run and try tackle them, but sometimes them just don't see, or when them see it too late. So that's why I say it's more awareness because I don't think it's a lack of trying. I don't think because laziness would mean like, yo, me see the man right there, so I'm not business, me just not go run. But I don't think it's that. Boza scoring is always a plus for Jamaica. Fact. Anybody scoring for us is a plus though. We are not good enough in the middle to play a single pivot. I keep saying this. Yeah, yeah. I think against Trinidad needs to consider just having a dedicated pivot with Isaac for sure. Bless up God. Respect for the super chat. Bless up Gooner, great analysis as usual. Yeah man, respect God. Rap Smith asks, how you? How you, Rob? Drop a super chat now. Lembeke is a holding spot for the next game, but who is a matchup for Trimingham? Well, I would like to think, Trimingham hamstring is a bit tight. So put the speedster Kadamar there for a run past him. Russell never looked that good in the game yesterday, especially after the 60 minutes mark. Man, foot give up on him. Actually thought Russell got better in the second half. I thought in the first half he was struggling to really get into it, but I thought he improved as the game went. Definitely was really tired by the end though. We don't have a creative midfielder like a Ravel, says Logan. Yeah, because we have to be effective in the midfield and win position in the middle. Big up Jeremy Lee. Hope all is well, bro. Yeah, man. Big up yourself every time, Jeremy. Palmer moved lazy, and a lazy Palmer needed to upgrade himself on international level. Palmer lazily run through them field and bust them net. Double boys don't know nothing about soup. Fire just catch up right now. Jamaica try decide if a rusty nail or a pressure pot. I gotta deal with the cow skin and red peas. Jano! Yo, some red peas sound good right now. I don't know why they keep calling Casey. Mothersill can also play as a 10. Yeah, I think I know why they keep calling Casey. Because the man deliver them good. Him set piece them. Him can drive forward with the ball and play. Him give at least couple key pass in a game when he play the role when he play last game. Bro, Casey Palmer, alright, bro. Yeah, I think Japan have USA next. Okay, so they might flip. Wanted to watch that Iceland game today, Jaja. I think you mean Ireland. Or you mean Iceland. I don't know what go on film Chile. I don't think he's been sighted around the team yet anywhere. So not sure what's going on with that. One time it looked like Russell going to pass out. Yeah, man. I mean, that's like when I think when the last sub did make like 80 minutes, 78 minutes, something like that. I think Russell didn't want to come off that time, and realize he not come off and said, Chacha, please, coach, please. All right, so let's take a look now, people, before we take a look at that, let's just do a quick run through of the we call it now, of the player ratings. All right, so now it's time for you guys to get super involved now and drop your scores for all the players that played in the fixture. So within reason, I think Ronaldo Webster can get a rating even though he played 3 minutes plus stoppage because he did contribute, so can give him a rating. All right, so first on the list, obviously the goalkeeper. So people tell me, Jamali Wade performance. What do you think? I will just talk a little bit about the player's performance from my point of view, and then I will let you guys know how much I think I would give him in the game, You can do anything 1 decimal point from 0 to 10. All right. So anything you can put 6.4, 5.7. You can do anything you want to do. We'll try get a somewhat of an average and we'll work out how much we're giving the players. All right. So Jamali wait for me, people. Thought he was good enough. He didn't have many saves to make. The ones he had to make, I think only one. I was a little bit unhappy with the decision in terms of the handling. It was a snapshot from Naki Wells, but look, well done to Greg Lee being alert. Not taking it for granted that it might be spilled, and he was able to stay focused and run back and clear it before the striker could get on the end of it. So for me, Jamali Wait still had a moment in the second half. I think it was 3-0 at the time, a long ball over the top, and I think it was Greg Lee again who came across to head it out. But Jamali Wade came and cleaned him out after he hit it. Luckily, Greg Lee is made out of, like, I don't know, steel or something, but he didn't even flinch. And I think the times when I see Wade get into trouble, and it's the one issue that I have with him, is it looks like he's a little bit indecisive when it comes on to any kind of decision that has to do with coming off of his line. We saw it against Dominica last year. We saw it in the Copa America a couple of times as well. And we saw it today, I think once or twice. The most glaring one was the disaster that could have happened when he came out to punch, and Greg Lee, he just punched ear and knocked over Greg Lee basically. But yeah, the one little mishandle and a couple little roping moments off the line doesn't overshadow the rest of the game, which was pretty much faultless. So for me, I'm gonna say Jamali Wade clean sheet as well, gets a 7. Solid 7 for Jamali Wade. Wade was good. 7, says Rob. Casey didn't play terrible. Him and Russell just need to get closer to Hayden. Also confused why Lambert couldn't close that game out for Hayden. Yeah, I was expecting him to come on. I was expecting him to come on. Bermuda did not play badly. In fact, they appear a bit more fluent and comfortable with the ball than us. They had more ball possession, and they had a couple chances that may have scored on another day. Yeah, for sure. Their moments, like I said, stem mainly from that half space area. Whenever Hayden gets a little bit disconnected from the back two, from the two center backs, that's when that half space is really vulnerable right there. So we need to figure out. I think that's why, to Rob's point, the double pivot could solve a bit of the problems, because I think the players, if they're gonna play a system like this, the players who are playing the other two roles besides Hayden at midfield just need to have a little bit more defensive know-how. Have to. Even if you're not going to put them in that position, just kind of do it the way that Jamaica do it with the hybrid thing. The awareness have to be up. 7 clean sheets at Chile. 6.5 never really had to do much. Had a spill, but was okay. Yeah. I would say 7.58 if it wasn't for that little off his line business that I never like, and the Naki Wells spillage, 7 is fair. Weight 6.5. Weight didn't have much to do. I'll give him an 8. Clean sheet, says Bling. I wouldn't be surprised if Bermuda hold Trinidad or Curacao at their home, or even pull off one surprise win. Well, that would be great for us. I think the squad will surely shift up for Trinidad. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting tactical preview that day, because trust me, I don't know what the coach going to be up to. I kind of have a feeling why he subbed off certain players and left on others. Maybe that gives you a glimpse into what he's thinking. But again, let me not give it all away, because we need to save some of what I want to talk about for the tactical preview, right? So yeah, weight, I think 7 is a fair score. 7 is a fair score. A couple 8s, some 6.5s, some 7s. So I'd say 7 is a fair score for Wait. So yeah, Wait gets the 7 people. Wait gets the 7. We document these because I wanna see wanna think. All right, Wait 7. All right, so I agree with the masses. I say a 7 as well. All right, moving on now. Center backs. So let's start with Richard King. So overall, what I thought about Richard King's game. Now, I think with Richard King, I thought it was one of his better performances, actually, if I'm being totally honest. Still things in his game that I see that I don't love. Just being honest there as well. But I think more of the good things that he's able to do on a football field were done in this game than some of the bad things I've seen him do before. And when he did the bad things, luckily for Jamaica, it did not really cost us in the long run, right? But I thought one of the things that impressed me the most about King in this game was the fact that it wasn't just passing that I remember from him in this game. I saw some really good defensive actions as well, which is what I have always said he needs to just improve on, just his overall defending ability. But yeah, he had 2 clearances, right? 2 block shots, 1 interception, 1 tackle. He only went into 2 duels, right? So that's something that I think when I look at his stats, I'm always wondering how does he play center back and go into so little duels? But when you watch him play, he does have a tendency whenever the action is happening to take 2 steps back from everyone else and just kind of try to see what's going on and read the game, which is not a bad thing to do, but I think he has to learn to read it from the line of his defense and not always be behind everyone. But yeah, the two duels overall is a mad thing. I don't know how he even does that. I think at times the only other thing I'd say, he was accurate on quite a few of the long passes he attempted, but I thought he got a little bit trigger happy sometimes. Especially the fact that Isaac was always an option there for him. But he decided to go long, and sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But I think at times he could have just kept the football moving and played the long pass another day. But King overall, I would say he was good. I thought he made the best challenge of the game. It was one of them same plays where Palmer lose the guy on his shoulder, got into the half space, turn, they worked it into the box. Damian Lowe got mashed up, and then the shot was coming in right there, basically at the penalty spot. And King came through and had the big block for it. So I think Wade got a 7, right? So I think King deserves more than the goalkeeper. Did create some good half chances with the long pass. But he had some cons in there for me as well. So I'd say a 7.5 probably for Richard King. Yeah, 7.5 is what I would give King. Let's see if anybody agree with me. Wait, 6.5 said stats. All right. King was solid 7.5. King 7 says Petrina. 2 says my day off. I can watch the game carefully. Nice, David J. I'm not off, but I'm going to run home to stream it because I want to actually do that one live. Even though maybe I shouldn't. Just let some other people have the live stream numbers. I'm going to just run out for the post match. Maybe I might do that. Because I know JD has stream, so it makes sense where, certain times, yeah, but especially since I have to rush so much, maybe I not kill off myself. 7 for King, composed as usual, passing and some key interceptions. Yeah, the defending was what impressed me more than anything. I mean, yeah, the long passes were nice, but the defending, yeah, too many long passes from King. Yeah, I think I would give him a 7 because of the long pass overdoing it sometime, but that tackle, man, that tackle in the box, I think that was going to score. Because I don't think Wade would have been able to. Just wide from Mexico. Bless up float. Hope all is well. Yeah, man. Live, bro. Blow, he was 4 for 14. So is that you're laughing, meaning that's not that many, or it's just funny that he was 4 for 14? I'm not sure. 7 for King says that 6.8. King, risky at times. To be honest, out of low making those long passes are King, or rather King. For sure. King has a lot better touch on the long pass and accuracy than low. King is a 5 for me. These players just don't tackle. Yeah, the tackling. I mean, he made one crucial tackle, and it was a goal saving one. So that's what I give him. I give King 7.5. I swear. But let's see. Let's see. Oh, it was poor. Yeah, it was poor. All right. So King 7.5, 6.8, and 5 from Father Bling, 7 from Float. All right. So I would say King probably gets a little bit better than Weight. So like a 7.2, probably average out to about that. You all see how Bermuda don't give us no time on the ball. Our players only track and try to intercept bad pass. Not good enough. All right, Damian Lowe, the captain for the day, got the goal, got the Rainbow Gold Cup, got the World Cup campaign starting off well with a goal after the set piece. Nice little short corner. And then Tyrese Campbell flipped it in. Some little ricochets going on, fell to low. And the good old toe point into the corner as well. So the man are practicing toe point and kind of accurate. But yeah, Damian Lowe did all right, He did all right. Didn't quite go long as much. I think if my boy the name if King went long 14, Lowe was probably about 3 or even less. But I know I test wise, I know him never. 'Cause I've seen the overall numbers, but I haven't really looked through all the actual numbers then. But yeah, I feel like Damian Lowe, for me, get a goal, so that boosts him. But man, he had that shocking giveaway in the start of the second half. Just passed the ball right to the man. And he got sent to the shop quite a few times as well. But I think for somebody that don't play, well, no, let me not even factor that into it because that shouldn't matter how much I give him as a rating. Um, but yeah, Damian Lowe, just think he was a little rusty in his 1v1s. That he lost out a few more times than normal for him even. But his aerial duels were perfectly spot on. Ground duels 50%. Um, only attempted 4 long pass and was accurate on 2 of them. But he was dribble past twice among 6 clearances. Oh, excuse me. 1 interception and 1 tackle, and also the goal. So Damian Lowe, I think, probably deserve a little more than King and Waite, if we're being honest. Even though at times Lowe did do some foolishness on the ball. I think he made up for it for the most part. Was pretty calm, and like I said, did not really waste the ball going long at all in the game much. Yeah, I think Low almost got some of the Low almost got some of the king syndrome, because one at a time them you say Low on the ball and him a drag back the ball and him get foul. Who get red card? Oh, Talman, Montez. Yeah, 2 out of 4. Where say 8 because him score but had moments he didn't like. Yeah. I'm not going to go as high as an 8. I'm going to say like 7.5. Yeah, I'd say 7.5. And then get that point 0.5 there overweight and the point 0.3 over King became score. But really and truly, if him never score, I would have to grade King higher than him. Even though King went long more and gave it away more, I still would have put King a little higher. Because some of the opportunities, if it wasn't what when name Palmer and Russell defensive awareness lacking, it was low, being overzealous, going too far to the left and leaving too wide a gap for somebody to play a two pass through. Low get a 8 from Ferran, 6.5 became scores a father bling. Low get a 7. Mission through says 7.5. Webster, how you reach a Webster was? Oh, you just a drop everybody. All right, no problem. Actually, it's a 7.8. All right. Chile Ginana 7.8. Low would be 7, but the goal is 7.5. Stefan, I'm thinking the same as that right there. Yeah, my sister Montez get red. I don't know what him do. He must have thumped somebody. Mexico player, yep. All right, so next player, Low. So I want to say, Low look like him get about 7.5 sound fear. 1 6.5. 7.5, 7, 7.8, 7.5, 7, 6.5, and an 8, and an 8. Yeah, I think him get a 7.5. All right, moving right along. Left back was Greg Lee. Greg Lee. What do I have to say about Greg Lee performance? Look, Greg Lee, I've always been a bigger fan of Amari Bell at left back. But one thing that I think I was underestimated with Greg Lee is I think Greg Lee definitely has a much better delivery on him from the left. He's a little more comfortable. It don't look as fluid as some other players, but he does have the ability in that, not quite all the way to the byline, but that kind of at the edge of the 18-yard box area that looks like it's going to the goalkeeper but whips away from him. Yeah, he has that one. Very good. Got an assist for Cephas goal, but boy, that is what an assist to get, man. Man just pass the ball 2 yards and then the man run with it. Yeah, so Greg Lee for me, I thought it was one of his better games, especially in possession. One of the major knocks I always have with Greg Lee, even when I track him playing for his club and I watch him playing, look at his stats if I don't get the chance to see him playing. The first stat I always look at for Greg Lee is possession loss. Because I know at left back you're going to be trying maybe some more dangerous passes that have the likelihood of them, working out is less. I still think that, he shouldn't be where he is sometimes, 15, 20, 25 possession loss in one game. But he was much better on the ball today in terms of ball retention. Had some decent balls over the top that, he put the backspin on it to make sure the player could reach it. So, he had the range of passing working. And he just would turn up in defensive actions when you don't think anybody is there. Greg Lee, Damian Lowe, both of them really and truly just show up and block something or get rid of the ball or something. But Greg Lee, for me, I thought it was a good game. So I'm going to say on this back line, I'm not going lower than a 7. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm going to say Greg Lee gets right there at 7 from me. David J say 8. 7 for Lisa Chili, 7 for Lisa Petrona. All right. I'm go and drop on the scores and do a favor as well. Like they're doing, just put the name of the player, whether it's the first or last name. Very, very helpful, Submission through say King 6, 7.5 there. You missed the average, All right, so 7, 7, 7, 7. One hope like 7 and 1 8. All right, that look like 7-ish. All right, Dexter now. Dexter let me Kisa now. So let's see. God give him a 6.5. All right, Dexter let me Kisa. I thought one of the better players on the park. I know he hasn't been playing anything but U21, but you can see that he's fit as he was up and down that wing, beating his man. But it's almost as if he caught my boy the disease. It's almost like he caught Wrigley's disease because I think he gave away the ball like 20 sometimes. No, 20 times. Giving it out, his possession lost 20 times in the game. So that's one thing, Dexter. I would love for you to find a better balance of. I don't want you to lose the nature of adventure that you have as a right back. But I do think that you can take a little more care on the ball. Maybe just try to function a half beat quicker. Because sometimes I think you do get caught just simply because you think you have more time. But trust me, you're electric down that right side, and usually when you get down there, you supply some really good quality. One of them in particular, you put it across the box flat, and everybody run towards the goal. Not one of them check, and I'm like, damn, that was such a good cut back there. But yeah, Dexter for me, good game from Dexter. I think he probably deserve one of the higher marks of all the outfield players for sure, of all the players. I think right now the benchmark is low. I think Dexter was better than low. With all that last possession, it no matter. I think he was better than low in the game. Or in the game, I should say. But yeah, he was terrorizing Hill over there. As a matter of fact, Hill had to come off. Hill had to come off, brother. Hill had to come off because Lembikis and Tyrese Campbell run the man into the ground. So pull something. But yeah, I'm gonna say an 8 for Dexter. I think an 8 is a good solid score for Dexter and one that him earned. Thought had a solid game, says Stefan 7.5. God says 7.5. David J says 8. Father Blink says 6. Actually says 7. Dexter says 7.5. Not Dexter say. Petrina Ferran said Dexter gets 7.5. 8 from Stets. 8 from Love Life Boss. Yeah, man, the cut back to Bailey Karamartiri starred. Jaja. Karamartiri just couldn't start out in foot them star. Yeah, I think Tyrese and if I am my boy, if I am McLaren or if I am Tyrese Campbell, I'm going to McLaren and saying, hey coach, you see when I play on the right, yeah, put that no, not if I was Tyrese Campbell. If I was Dexter Lembikisa, I would say, hey coach, whenever I'm on the right, yeah, play that guy in front of me again. Man say it was a joy to have somebody on my side that actually helped me. Trust me. Man can't believe what him say. A winger, right there side of him a defend. I want to go on yes up on the right side in a Jamaica team. I never see this before. But yeah, people. Dexter get a 8 from me, and the crowd look like it's a little less than an 8, I try to give him the 8, 8. All right, this start right. So 7.5, 7.5, 8, 6, 7, 7.5, 8, 8. Why? 3, 3, 8, 3, 7.5. And one Father Bling score. Big up yourself, Bling. Dexter better enjoy it because I don't think it will happen often. Well, you might be right about that, Alright, so I can't give him 7.5 because it's too close to. So I'm going to say 7.8. And Dexter can hold off the 7.8 or the 7.7. But we're going to round up. All right. Isaac Hayden, neat and tidy. Metronome, calming, steady. Ball retention, beast. I guess the only negative is that he picked up a card. I think two yellow cards in this phase and you have to sit out, I believe. So boy, the hope is that him can get through this next one without another one. But yeah, I mean, he just does his job, man. No frills, relax, calm. Always coaching, teaching other players. Looks to be a good locker room guy as well. Definitely captain material. But Isaac Hayden for me did well, man. I don't think he was quite as good as some of the players on the defense line overall. But I'm going to be a little biased because I saw so many things he did that I thought just really helped us in the game. So I'm going to say a 7.2. I'm going to say a 7.2. What a random score, but yeah, 7.2. Hayden get a 8. Hayden get a 8. Low 7.5. Hayden 5.5. Hayden solid 7.5. So 8, 8, 7.5, 5.5, 7.5, Hayden 7. Ooh. Well, look like 7.5 win out, I work with the majority. All right, next up, John Russell. Okay. All right, so Jonathan Russell, like I said, I think he kind of grew into the game. By the time the second half rolled around, I think he did a lot more for the team. You can't dispute him passing accuracy. Has a decent range, but really prefers to play shorter passes. And yeah, was a good enough display. I think one that, different opposition maybe he's not able to have the kind of influence he had. But, we have to play who's in front of you, and we had to put out a team. He was in it, and I don't think he did anything wrong per se. Again, I just feel like the defensive awareness needs to improve. But his on the ball, his technique, his ability for such a tall guy to kind of get out of close quarters and still have the ball is pretty remarkable, actually. So yeah, John Russell, for me, I would give him a 7 probably. Probably a 7. Russell 7, Hayden 7. Russell missing first half 6. Hayden, please don't get a yellow card until the Curacao game, man. Tell you, Chile. And I'm gonna read up on the laws of the final round just to ensure that it's 2 games and not 3. Because I mean it is a 6-game series, so the 2 games to me seem a bit harsh. But let's see. Russell 6, Russell 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. So I think Russell probably gets a 6.5 then. He's the first player under 7 for the day. Now we have Casey Palmer. So Casey Palmer, the enigma. All right, so Casey scored a really nice goal, must be said. Taking it just inside the opponent's half, driving forward and then cutting across onto his favored right foot and wrong foot in the keeper. Very good goal. Um, and he had the freedom in this game. Sometimes, like I said, the defensive awareness needs to still be there because the minute they break the pressure and you're out of the 4-4-2 block, guess what, Casey? You're back in the midfield in that three. So you have to be sure that you're operating as such. You can't, you got to scan. You scan every time before you get the ball. I think that's why you're so effective at keeping the ball when you get it, because you kind of know where the danger is coming from. But the same needs to be said when you're off the ball in a defensive action. You need to make sure that you're doing the same scanning. Now, you've been coached all your life, so I know you know these things. So at this point, it's just a focus thing. Because if you're really dialed in and focused, all those trainings, all those academy teachings, everything that you have been able to accumulate football knowledge-wise over your career, it will hold you in good stead. And I think you will make those awareness adjustments. Because again, Casey Palmer, I don't know if you'll ever watch this, but people call you lazy, Palmer, and I'm trying to tell them that it's not necessarily that you're lazy, but you are defensively a little unaware. Yes, that is a fact. And if you can improve on that, I think people will actually say that you do try to make tackles and do things like that. You know? Look upon the amount of ground duels you went into. 12 ground duels, You can't be lazy and have so much ground duel going on. It's not possible. It's not possible, people. But Casey Palmer, good goal. I think the game was good as well. Like I said, and I heard someone say, "Boy, Ravel is the only creator." But I think Casey Palmer was creative yesterday for sure. A couple of key passes on the day. Didn't create a big chance, but I think he did enough. I think he got the goal. That was really what was needed to just, because that was actually their second spell where they had a little bit of joy in the second half. That 10 minutes I was talking to you about, right when the second half started, that was kind of when Casey Palmer, it looked like him just get fed up when him get the ball and just say, "Yo, man, I go up on a run, yeah, man." And the run turned out to be a brilliant idea because it put us up 3-0 and just really calmed down the game. And that's when McLaren made some good subs, which we'll get to with his ratings. But Palmer, though, for me, people, I'm going to say a 7. Even though he scored a goal, I'm going to say I would still put Hayden higher than him. He deserves more than Russell for me, but Palmer, I'd say a 7. Solid 7. 6.5 from God. 7.5. Palmer, nice goal, but gotta do more. Palmer 7, man of the match for me. So Father Bling says Palmer is his man of the match. All right, big up Bling. Actually says 7.7 for Palmer. Yeah, Sheridan, me there. You out. Yo, me I grapple to do this show for like about an hour before me do it. I'm gonna say, what? I'm just do it now because people them probably already hear about this game about 10 million times by tomorrow. So let me just get it done. So I'm there. Palmer 7.2, Palmer 7.5. Stefan Wright shake him head and say, I would give him a 6.5, but the goal 7. All right, so 7, 7.5, 7.2, 7.77, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. No, that was a old one. So 6.5. Yeah, so I think 7.5 here. I will have BM drop it down to a 5. 7, 7.2, 7.7, 7. You and a 5? Damn. Yeah, so it look like still the 7. Just 1 5. Holy for 7. 7. Why may I type 7 for? If you write it. Alright. Palmer. Now who do you play left wing again? Oh, Cephas. Cephas. So the man call him Sifas. Alright, so Sifas. Sifas, make me see. Alright, so Sifas, you're gonna get the good, you're gonna get the bad, and you're gonna get the ugly. So Jamaica fans, let me tell you, and just live with it. Because it's undeniable the guy is a threat. Undeniable. We are trying to raise the extent of his threat by improving his decision making a little more. And basically, that's mainly what holds him back, the decision making. Yes, he's not the greatest technically, but his equalizer for that gap in technique is the speed. I don't care how technical you are, if you get in a race with him, you're probably going to lose. And I know in the preview show when we were talking about the tactics of everything and how I thought Cephas could be effective, one of the main things I said was if he's gonna run in behind, he's gotta set it up. So if he's here, it's gotta be a check-in, spin in behind. If he's here, it's gotta be the same. Check-in, either spin or just check-in and then just change direction of your run and run with like that guy. Right? And that's what Cephas did early in the game. Also, later in the game, when they would go long, you could tell that Cephas, the way he was receiving it, sometimes on the camera you can't see so far to the right, but the way how he's receiving it behind the defender and not being offside, I would like to think it's a check and go ahead and get in behind. And really, that's something so subtle that basically opened up the game. And also, Bermuda playing the suicidal type of football that they were trying to play against Jamaica kind of put everything together to give him a goal and, at least a run out that people will look back and say, okay, he was a threat most of the time when him get the ball. Now, him still give you headaches because some of the decisions, man, but he was good in his duels, good in his aerial duels, so he put in some work, had a clearance, 7 out of 10 ground duels, very good. Tried 7 dribbles, completed 4 of them, and he had the one shot on target for the goal. So, yeah, made a key pass as well. So, good performance from Sifas, right? And I'm going to give Sifas, I'm going to say Sifas gets a 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. I like the Fast. Big up to you. I had one. Fast 7. Fast 7.5. 7.5. Fast great goal, but can annoy me. Yeah, man. At this point, Rob, the way me see it, I think the coach has done this as well. He looked on the pros and cons and he said, boy, if my winger making a few mistakes every now and again, I can live with it because we have defensive cover. It's not like a super detrimental thing. But if that same winger can give me a moment of brilliance, I'll take that too. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not going to win goal of the season or anything like that. But it was effective in beat a few and slap it and bang it into the goal. So you have to give him credit. You have to. But just know, after that goal, you might cost him in about 5 minutes. Next time you touch the ball. But at some point, you just have to say, hey, it is what it is, man. I wouldn't say that if I was his coach, but I'm not the coach. So it is what it is. 7.5, said David J. Put up the team of the week, Jason. Yeah, man, I'm going to do it, man. I don't want we get skewed by the ratings of the people yet. 7.5. 11 for Cephas. Cephas 7.5. BBK out there on the west, where everything is the best. Yes. Big up yourself, BBK. Go give my strength over there on him channel. BBK Sports. Subscribe, man. One of the best out there talking, man. The coach looks at the pros and cons. I just look at my Panadol. Man, them say Cetamal, Panadol, anything with al. I hate that. Them need it for CFAS, boy. Either he runs it out of bounds or some magic happen. Guess we can live with that. But yeah, I mean, goal kick ain't the most threatening thing. The good thing is, CFAS, I haven't seen CFAS too many times lose the ball like in an area where it's just like, yo, how can you lose it right there? Not too many times. God, I'm sure it's happened before. But CFAS for me, him get a 7.5. I think that's pretty much what most people put in. I see a 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 11, 7.5. Yeah, so probably 7.5 then. A lot of 7.5s there. What do we give Palmer? Like 7 point something. He got a 7.5 too. All right, let's go to right wing now, and that would have been Tyrese Campbell. So Tyrese Campbell, people, thought he did well. It didn't seem like the occasion got to him in any way or anything like that. Kind of disappointing that he wasn't able to, put an assist on his name in this day, because he did play a couple of really good half chances and chances into the box. But Tyrese Campbell, I think what sets him apart from, some of the other quote unquote speedsters we have as wingers, I think Tyrese Campbell has a lot of variation and variety in the play. So, sometimes he drops short, sometimes he'll take the ball and go all the way across the other wing with it. He just does things a little bit differently than the rest of them, and he's definitely more of a ball retainer. So, even if there's a situation where the squad is out and everyone's available and the coach doesn't start him, I think based on situation, Tyrese Campbell is a good option, because if you have a lead and your winger tired or whatever the case is, he's that winger that's not going to really give the ball away much. He can retain the ball well. He draws fouls a lot. So if he get in trouble, he usually tries to draw a foul. And it was working out for him today. I think the main thing for him is just confidence. When he's confident, and I saw this at Charlton when I was watching him last season. He was in a little bit of a lull, and then bang, he kind of take off. And he was a different player all the way up to the playoff final, and he was a different player out there. So for me, Tyrese Campbell, I would say he doesn't quite deserve what Cephas got or Palmer got. I'd probably say like a 6.5, maybe 6.5, 6.6, 6.7, somewhere in there. And mainly just because, for all the retaining he did, I would have liked a little bit more cutting edge, and he did have a couple of instances where he shot and it just didn't make much sense for him to take that route on the play. So yeah, he can get some beating for some of the decisions that he made in the final third. But I think he looked promising, man. I think he was really good in the 1v1 situation. Just has a tendency to, just know exactly what he wants to do. It's like he has already mapped out what he wants to do when he gets the ball, and I like that. So if you notice, when he gets the ball, especially, and his tracking back, I have to talk about that. The tracking back was on point. It's a part of the reason why Dexter had such a good game, because he had that help. He just never felt like he was exposed over there. So good work from Tyrese Campbell. I don't think he would have done anything to make the coach not give him another start, but you never know. Tactical preview coming soon. That's true, Jason, because when he gets back, for the most part, he does a good job of holding the ball and draw the hard foul. Yeah. If he was losing the ball in my defensive third and middle third, I would have really cussed, you know. But it's like it's almost like you want to show him clips of when him getting in the defensive third and say, "Yo, you see what he did right here?" And then you show him a clip of when he took on 3 man, what he could have done differently. Say what he did in the first clip in the defensive third, do that in this situation. When you see 1, 2, 3, somebody free. If you can get a goal or fouls or a penalty from his play, all that outweighs the low to zero production of sliding man or dormant man. Dormant man. Rotted. Campbell gets a 7.2, says David J. Father Bling gives Sifas a 7. I hope the coach doesn't get caught up and change this 11. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Campbell with a 6. Like I said earlier, I felt when there wasn't a simple pass, he kind of lost ideas. Campbell 30 touches, 9 lost. Cephas 28, 10 lost. Yeah, similar amount of losing the ball. Campbell 8 for me. He runs back and help out at the back. Yeah, I mean 6.5. It could have get bumped up a little more, but I haven't really done any point, so I don't think I have personally done any like that. But which don't matter. I should be able to. But yeah, I'll say 6.5. Don't think him quite got to the 7. Casey better than Campbell. Did Campbell do it? With Dexter was Batman and Robin. On the day for me, yeah. On the day the rating is higher, yeah. Yeah, I gave Palmer got a 7.5. And Campbell got but I personally gave Palmer a 7. And then the chat kind of boosted it up. And then Tyrese Campbell, I gave a 6.5. And it looked like it's gonna be close to that 6.5, 6. Stats say 8. Okay. 6.5, 6, 6.5, and 8. So probably 6.5 then, probably, right? You know, probably not exact mathematics there, but yeah, we'll work with it. And then Bailey, I'm saying 1 Bailey. Bailey Kadamarteri. Bailey Kadamarteri. All right, so Bailey, John O'Star. So Bailey was supposed to be on this thumbnail today, but man just couldn't convert the chance them start. But people, I'm going to be honest. His rating's gonna be low on almost every site. And I understand that because he missed some goal and thing. But people, tell the truth. Who is the last forward you see? I don't care if it's Bermuda, Dominica, St. Vincent, BVI. I don't care who we're playing. When is the last striker you see? Took how many? 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 shots. 7 shots, you know. 2 of them on target, 3 off target, and 2 block. But 7 shots? Nah, our forwards don't have that sort of output. And it just hurt me heart that he never scored on debut because he had so many opportunities too. I mean, this one, is this the one? Yeah. This was a madness. The way him control the ball from Dexter over the top, man. And in one motion, just push it round Eve. And then the man go put it wide. Oh, that one they bun me. But yeah, Bailey Kadamarteri looks good, man. Runs the channels, strong. Did not finish his goal, so obviously that's gonna drag down him score. But I swear, everything else the man do was great. Hold up play, little flick-ons to runners running but with him and by him. definitely gonna be of some great use to the Jamaica team moving forward, I think. Because you can see the sharpness as well, you know. Tyrese Campbell ping a ball into the middle and just take it down on him foot, turn and swivel towards goal. It got blocked, but just that little bit of quality that sometimes, you know, don't quite get there with some of the players. And the main thing is the first touch. On his first touch, especially when he's anywhere near the 18-yard box of the other team, all the thing in his mind is how can I touch this football for my next touch to be on target? And you have to love that about him because he's very, can tell him really thinking about what he wants to do. You know, everything is up here. Um, but yeah, just didn't get his goal, man. Didn't get his goal, and it really spoiled what was otherwise a really good debut, I thought. You know, very good account of himself in open play. I love the fact that he's comfortable back to goal and also running in behind. That's something that the Jamaican strikers lately, we've almost had to be choosing either or for those type of things. And when he was first talked about a couple of seasons ago, when he was still 18 and everything, you know, everybody was saying this is literally the new Antonio in terms of his how he plays, his physicality. And this game, you could see why those comparisons are made because Bailey Cadamarteri has the speed, you can tell he has the strength. So yeah, I think Bailey's gonna be a welcome addition. He's gonna help us moving forward. Everything but the goal. And honestly, I have to be honest, everything but the goals because he could have had a hat trick in the game. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6 because I have to mark down for the misses. But you know, those kind of misses, if it was a bad game as well, it would have been in the 3-4 land. So I'm gonna say 6 because actually no, I'm gonna give him a 6.5. Man did enough open play, bro. 6 sound too harsh. All right, so me give Bailey C a 6.5. Bailey 6, you gotta finish at least one of those. Yeah, I was gonna give him the 6 the whole time, man, but I bumped it to a 6.5. God said Bailey get a 9. Wow. 5.5 from Father Blink. Cad 7, he'll find it soon. He's gonna score Tuesday night for sure. Yo, the man due might score 3 or 2. BC 7, he did everything right except score. That is true. Bailey only if he converted 6.5. The man is an all-around striker, good control. Yeah, agreed. Good balance as well. When he gets bounced off, it don't really phase him. You know, he's tall, but he have a good solid base. If that did score, it would absolutely beautiful. Yeah, man. The first touch and the touch around the keeper, man, sublime. Everything up until the finish was sublime. Then it get sour like lime. Sounds like BC should get a 7. Yeah, the chance is missed, man. Knock off him score for me. That run he made opened up the goal for Palmer. Facts. That run across was needed. IQ different, it shows in his game. Yeah, man. Man, I think out everything, man. Just need to think out the ball and the goal now. Cadamarteri is 7. He works hard up front. Cads can even get an 8.5 just for renting out space in a Shamar head. Don't it? Because Shamar look like he might try this time. Bless up, Conrad. Hope you're good, my brother. One BLC. For a group of players who have never played together, this was good chemistry. Yeah, I think the planning, the game planning was very clear. I didn't see much looking around to see where people were. I think they did a good job of getting the game plan across to the players. Yeah, it must be said that they did a good job with that. All right, real quick, I'm just gonna run through the bench. So Mason Holgate came on for low. I'm gonna say Mason Holgate for me gets about a 6.5. Actually, I'll give him the 7. Karai Anderson, I'll give him a 7 as well. I thought he wasn't like spectacular or anything, but I love the fact that as soon as he came on, he wanted to get on the ball, take some touches. It might have been a directive from the coach. If it was, kudos to them, because especially midfielders, when they first come on, you want them to get 1, 2 touches before it get too crazy for them. So I love that Carroll went seeked out that football 2, 3 times, get a touch, pass it back, turn on it, just feel that football, feel the rhythm of the game. Shamar Nicholson came on in the 71st, scored a goal. So I'm going to give Boza 7.5. Kaim Dixon came on, was lively as usual. Not very, not much to write home about in terms of shots or anything. Had a decent cross that came in that the keeper fumbled. But Kaim, pretty standard off the bench. I'd say a 6. And then Ronaldo Webster, assist from the corner, only played about 3 minutes plus 3 more. But yeah, came on, made an impact with the corner. So I have to give him probably a 6.5 to a 7. Almost a 7. 6.8 or something like that. And then Coach McLaren, 4-0 win. Can you really cuss him after that? Probably not. Yes, I'd say McLaren gets a solid 7.5. Solid 7.5. I do think Bermuda had a couple of stretches in the first and second half. The first half one lasting about 12 minutes or so. The second half one lasting about 8 to 10 minutes. But I just feel like some of the things happen based on the personnel choices. And I think for this game, he got away with it because I don't think Bermuda quite have the cutting edge that could really exploit some of the things that happen when Russell and Palmer play with Hayden. I don't think Russell is disciplined enough or really has the skill set personally to play a true DM, like as a double pivot. So if he goes to that and frees up Palmer or Russell to be more of a 10 who can roam in behind that striker, my candidate would actually be Kevin Lambert for there. Now, correct, Anderson came in today and didn't look too bad because in phases of the build-up, he was right there in the same line with Isaac as a double pivot. So he was kind of doing a hybrid type of role. And I think that's what they asked Russell to do, but Russell does not go as far back in terms of getting closer to Hayden when we're being countered or even when we're going against any sustained possession. So that's something that if I'm breaking down film with the team, I'm saying, listen, John, Casey, you guys need to get more in tune with Isaac when obviously once the first press is beaten and we drop back into our defensive shape. These are the triggers that I want for you to get closer to Hayden or to go ahead and seek somebody to get tighter to on the opponent's team. But we have to be working that out and make it make sense, because I think those little lapses are what caused Bermuda to get into the middle a few times. And we can't afford that against Trinidad. They have a little more quality. So they'll probably make that little more quality tell if we give them similar type of openings, right? But Steve McLaren 7.5, I think, is fair. Yeah, he did all right, man. You think the advisor had something to do with it or what? And people, before we go, let me show you guys something that I thought was really cool. SofaScore each week will give you the updated team of the week and all of that. So we did get it from SofaScore this week, and I'm going to show you how it looks right now. All right, it will help if I stop sharing this, don't it? All right, so let's get this going. All right, now. All right, before I go into the team of the week, let me just see what I say about the people that might forward off the bench if we don't have anything else. All right. Boza 6. Yeah, the ball from the corner was perfect, man. 6.5, youth is a hard worker, only man where I tackle. 7.5 for his game management. Okay. Minus 7.5 when he selects his big name ballers in the next window. Wait, gosh. Marvelous corner. Yeah, man, the corner was really good. The header was superb. Decent starting lineup, said Bling. You like Antonio helping out coaching? He might as well. If he's there, he should do something. I don't think he should play, so he might as well help with the coaching. McLaren 7 can't be higher because he didn't take off Hayden. You got to manage the man. That's a hard argument to refute, you know. How we win a game 4-love and Hayden not come off? And you have cover actually on the bench. Coach at 6.5, and none of those players would play how they did in spite of him. Coach get him tablets, so I'm good now. That in there holding them, man. Jason, I love that jersey, but I love wearing it too. I have a couple, one of Antonio 9. Yeah, man, this jersey to me is the wickedest jersey. It's one of my favorite jersey them since like the long time one, them like the World Cup one where you used to go so. That was like obviously iconic. But this one is bad, man. This is a wicked one. Shot no Casey Palmer on the list. Yeah, it came down to position. And the score. So he scored like a 7.2. And when you look in the midfield right there, it was all higher, you know. Bless up, Sean. What go on? Yeah, man, Suriname there. Donkey of the year. Sean love the donkey foolishness, you know, man. All right, so this is the team of the week, people. Menivar, G's and P's. This man deserve it. It's a shame. Um, Guatemala keeper, man. My God. No, not Guatemala. Honduras keeper. The man keep incredible in this game, you know, man. Yeah, man. Andrade from Panama, Gamboa from Costa Rica scored for them, the header, and Damian Lowe scored for Jamaica. He's in there. Then in midfield, they went for 4, so they're playing the Ruben Anohim system. John Russell and Rampasad will face each other on Tuesday. Hold down the middle of the midfield. Lembekisa off the right, Van der Costa off the left, who was really good for Suriname in that fixture. Then we have Ronaldo Cephas on the left, Ordaz on the right, who played only 45 minutes in a win for El Salvador. And then up front, Shamar Bowes and Nicholson, who was the best of a bad bunch when he came on to strikers in CONCACAF for this window. But let's take a look here at the most recent games. So let's do it by date. All right, so we have on the, what was this, the Thursday, Panama and Suriname played out an 0-0 draw. This game could have really gone either way, but in the end, I think Suriname will be kicking themselves. They had the clearer chances towards the end of the game, and they had Panama where they wanted them with about 10 minutes to go, all the momentum, but they just couldn't find the goal. Panama could have scored in the first half a few times as well. I think Vasson needs credit for having a very good game in goal, but also Mosquera did his thing. So a good game for the two keepers for sure, and I think Suriname just pretty much solidified what most people think, that they're definitely not any kind of pushover in CONCACAF, right? Guatemala came in flying high after the Gold Cup. Sometimes doing so successful before another huge tournament might not be the best thing, because you have this false sense of, okay, we got this, we're really ready, but they weren't ready for this first fixture. Guatemala going down to El Salvador. I mean, to be fair, Guatemala had the better of play, like a lot better of play, but El Salvador had the game plan. Let Guatemala come at them. They just sat back, try to limit the big chances, which they did, and they were able to get a shock result. So, I know me personally, I had them finishing last in the group, El Salvador, but clearly they had other ideas and they won that one 1-0. Then to kick off on Friday, Jamaica went first. They won 4-0, which you already know. Haiti and Honduras drew 0-0. This is the game where Haiti, if Peru could have damn finish, This man, Haiti give them about 3 because Honduras did little to nothing in the game. And Menivar, that's how he got a 9 because the man made about 27 save. Well, 7, but you know what I mean, right? So it's been super, super tight in CONCACAF so far. Trinidad and Curacao, want to talk a little bit about this one. So Trinidad, Curacao, let's just take a look at the stats in full. Really, really even possession, which I found very, very interesting. Both teams are kind of possession-driven teams. So it makes sense that they were both fighting for that possession advantage. One big chance out of the entire game was created, and that was by Trinidad. Big save by Eli Room. I think I know exactly which one as well. You see there, Eli Room made 6 saves to only 2 for Smith. Let's see, passes slightly in favor of Curacao. 5 yellows for Trinidad. Wow. So let's see how that affects things. One big chance was missed that they got. How costly could that be for them to not get the 3 points here? And then duels, dispossess. Okay. Defending. Recoveries. All right, let's check. Final third entry is very even. So this game was very, very even, you know, man. Could have gone either way. But like I said, the near misses and thing came right before them leave. So yeah, Trinidad would feel the worst about that draw, even though I think Curacao away from home will take the point, of course. But yeah, Trinidad, they probably think they should have won. And I would have to agree with them. They had the clearer chances. Let's see. This is Nicaragua and Costa Rica. This game was a mad game because Nicaragua went down to 10 men. Shortly thereafter, Costa Rica scored from a corner. But brother, you see, from that point, I think Nicaragua had 12 men. The man them start to pressure them on the wings and the flanks and just, stretching the back line constantly. So yeah, big ups to Nicaragua. That was a gutsy come back to the 1-1 and even could have maybe nicked it with the 10 men in the end. But they should be proud of themselves for that point. That was a big point. So these are the standings after the first game. El Salvador in a shock lead in Group 1. Panama, Suriname on a point, and Guatemala, the cellar dwellers right now, but that can change. Then we have Group B, which is Jamaica. I don't know why they have 2. 3 points for Jamaica, Curacao and Trinidad on 1, Bermuda on 0. And then Group 3, this is the group of death right here. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Haiti, and Honduras. And look at that, all on a point. But Costa Rica and Nicaragua had a 1-1 to the 0-0 in the other game, which leaves them all the way and in the cellar. All right, so people, I want to say maximum respect to each and every one of you. Programming coming up this week. Jamaica has another game Tuesday. So press conference will be coming shortly. We'll report on that. We will also give a full tactical preview. Gonna watch back the Trinidad game again because I watched majority of it live. I'm gonna watch it back again tomorrow. Take some notes on it. Try to come up with a game plan to nullify what I see as the biggest threats for Trinidad, and also try to exploit weaknesses that I see so that I can bring them to you guys and we can see if Coach McLaren, his staff, all of his advisors, and anybody who he seeks advice from can watch this program and get some ideas that just might work for them. All right, people. So big up to each and every one of you, lad. Thanks for all of you who tuned in and showed the respect of engaging in the conversation, letting me know your thoughts in the comment section. I tried my best to, get to as many comments as I could. I think I did a much better job of that today. Maybe not right away, but yeah, I tried my best to do multiple things at once with 2 eyeballs, 2 hands, 1 brain. Even though I do have a decent processor up top, I think. Yeah, it was a lot going on. So sometimes that's why I kind of miss some of the comments. But we're working on it, people. We're trying to improve and find innovative ways to kind of run the show a little better. But the good thing is this football brain not leaving me. Once I have that, then yeah, I think we can always have some discussions. But people, big up, maximum respect. Anybody that was late to class, like MF, big up yourself, MF. You don't know. It's there. It's on YouTube. It doesn't go away. So I'm gonna upload the video shortly. Yeah, we should upload instantaneously because we got to a certain amount of running time and a certain amount of likes and views. So we are good to go. And people, again, I greatly appreciate the support each and every time. Love the fact that you guys know when you come here, you can sit down and just listen me talk about football for a little while, minus all the other noise. And yeah, by the end of it, hopefully you guys had a good understanding of what I saw from my perspective, and also maybe next time you watch the game, you'll think of some different things than what you did the last time. All right, people, big up on yourself. Jagarns, I really appreciate the fact that you say hard work because people trust me. I give a lot of time to this to make sure that when I'm talking, I can pull the information quickly enough to make a coherent statement. So hopefully you guys, I know Jagarn sees the work we put in because he has watched me over some time and kind of realized that, oh, this guy really, talks this way all the time. So Jagarns, I love the way how you have kind of been a part of the channel, like from just starting out, not really sure, and then staying around, and then boom, now you're subscribed, you're a member, you're here almost every time, you participated in everything that I have going on. So Jagarns, really and truly, when I started the channel, people like you was like the people, like I know there are people out there that just like love to talk about football. And I can tell that you really, really enjoy these convos. So big up yourself every time, Jagarns. And again, we greatly appreciate the membership. Trust me. One Mr. Speed says Conrad, they don't know. The advisor work them say. Yeah, man. Up, Stefan. Respect, Stefan. We are greatly appreciate the comment, bro. And again, God, big up yourself, The man them ask who you. That is who God is. Somebody who put some money on the board tonight for the hardworking Jason Gooner. So yeah, bless up Gooner. Great analysis as usual. Yeah, man. Just wanted to highlight your super chat one more time, Garth. Greatly appreciate it. The dollar amount no matter. It's the thought that counts, people. Big up on yourselves. Thanks for the support once again. And we're at the end. So you know what you say now. I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. Come on, Reggae Boyz. 3 more points on Tuesday. We'll be back for the tactical preview. Stay tuned. Big up. Jason Gooner TV. We're gone.